The Energy and Environmental Research Center at the University of North Dakota is the gold standard of research. They do some incredible things there. We get a chance to talk with their folks regularly on the program, and including today, our guest to talk about a new award that's been given to EERC to do some important research, and we're going to talk a little bit about that research today on the program. Charlie Gorecki is the Director of Subsurface Research and Development at EERC. Charlie, nice to have you on the show. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Scott?
Doing well. Thank you very much for the time today. Talk a little bit about this $7 million that came from the Energy Department.
Yeah, so the U.S. Department of Energy, they awarded two awards for about $3.5 million each to look at how we can use carbon dioxide to increase oil production out of existing oil and gas fields. We were the recipients of one of the awards, and then University of Illinois was also a recipient. So this new award fits into our larger portfolio of projects and our vision of taking carbon dioxide and turning it from a waste into a commodity that we can put to work, produce more oil, and continue to utilize our resources in North Dakota and throughout the United States.
I know you have worked on this over the years. That's not a new project. What is different about this particular award and project?
In this particular project, we are going to be looking at stacked horizons. So we have an oil field, a conventional oil field that's produced for a number of decades. It's actually in Cut Bank, Montana. And then below it, we have what's referred to as a residual oil zone. So several hundred feet below that is another horizon that has oil that wouldn't be able to be produced by traditional methods. So the operator, Synergy Oil and Gas, is going to be looking at doing enhanced oil recovery in the conventional field, as well as using carbon dioxide to produce oil out of the residual oil zone directly below it. So in both cases, getting oil that would not otherwise be able to be produced from the subsurface. And then we're going to take those lessons and we're going to apply them to the larger Williston Basin in North Dakota and then Montana, Wyoming, as well as the rest of the United States. So we're going to look at how we can use carbon dioxide to produce oil in a more efficient and environmentally friendly way.
So when you have, this particular one and the others as well, are they all intertwined in one way or another to lead you to the analysis you're looking for from the research?
Well, there's been a handful of enhanced oil recovery projects in the region, mostly in Montana and Wyoming. There's been some pilots in North Dakota. We have been largely CO2 short, which has been a big issue. Senator Hoeven, in his press release, he also referred to a couple of other projects that we're working on, one in particular with Elite Clean Energy and Minn Kota Power at Milton R. Young, where we're going to try to capture carbon dioxide from the Milton R. Young 2 power station to use for enhanced oil recovery. In the Williston Basin, we have a whole host of these stacked oil fields. So the Madison is what's been produced since the 50s. We've got a whole bunch of other formations below the Madison, including the Bakken, that are more recent production horizons. So what we learn in this particular test can help us use carbon dioxide in stacked oil fields. So then we can have maybe more centralized facilities, what you need to do to be able to track where the CO2 is going and how to produce more oil when you're looking at one oil field over the top of another oil field in this case.
And my favorite win is obviously it is has some great potential in enhanced oil recovery, and that is a game changer. But most importantly, CO2 isn't exactly in high demand anywhere, right? So you can use a product that some people don't like to do some good.
Absolutely, and if there is a carbon constraints in the future. By using carbon dioxide from a coal-fired power plant, maybe that allows you to continue to produce coal-fired power with less carbon emissions, and then puts it to use where you're producing oil that you wouldn't have otherwise got, and at the same time that oil has a lower carbon emission as well. So it's a win for that side, that thinking as well. I think it's a win for the state, the country.
Right on. Exactly right. Hey, Charlie, thanks so much for the time today. We really appreciate it.